My advice to you: never get involved in an online relationship. And what I mean by that is not that you shouldn't, meet someone on Tinder and then meet up after a couple weeks or a couple months and get together. Um, I'm saying don't go into a relationship with someone you've met online without an actionable, reasonable, practical plan to meet them in real life. And there are so many reasons for that, but I'm just going to run over some personal ones. Just speaking from my own experience with this, um, because this is just a plague nowadays. I see so many people having these like failed online relationships. They call them like long distance relationships, but it never works out well. And I think a key component in that is, of course, the physical attraction element. Like, if you are not regularly in contact with someone, it's very hard to express your physical attraction to them in a reasonable way. I mean, you can't have sex with them, you can't cuddle with them, you can't do any of that, you can't hug them. And if you're usually a very touchy person, that can be extremely painful to deal with. But beyond just that, I mean, there's obviously the communication aspect. Even if you're spending all day in a fucking voice chat and you're calling all the time and you're on camera, it still just doesn't compare even remotely to being there face to face with someone, moving around, touching them, giving them things, so on and so forth. It really can never, ever compare. And the reason I say have an actionable, practical, reasonable plan, or I think I mixed up reasonable and practical in terms of the order, but regardless, the reason I say that is because I got involved in an online relationship when I was a teenager, starting when I was well, no, it ended when I was a teenager too. Um, I basically had this person. I'm not going to go into details, personal details, just to preserve this person's privacy. But I got into a relationship with this person um, that was a long distance relationship. We'd talk all day, every day, so on and so forth. But when we got into it, we really had no plan immediately for meeting up, no long term plan. Just like a heat of the moment, like you know, let's get to know each other better. Let's say we're an item, whatever. I have great love in my heart for you. You have great love in your heart for me. Blah blah blah, all that gay shit. Um, and looking back on it, I just cringe so fucking hard because I was such a little pathetic fucking bitch. Um, I was just. It's so unbelievably cringe looking back how much I sort of like believed in like the power of love to persevere over distance and like meeting someone online doesn't make a difference. Our souls are connected. We have love in our hearts for each other. But that went on for a little while, and eventually I started sorting out plans. And it's like, oh, I'll come meet you. Yeah, I'll drive down. I'll drive across like 7 states. To meet with you for Christmas, even though I'm a teenager. Um, it was just unreasonable, right? And the reason I say that you need a plan pretty much immediately, rather than getting into these long distance relationships, is more than just the physical attraction element. It's more than just the interpersonal element. Um, I think it really comes down to the fact that online relationships really can never encompass all the things that a relationship is supposed to provide for you and also supposed to signify. I mean, first of all, making it known to your online circle of friends, that you and this other person are a digital item doesn't really mean anything. It's not as meaningful as, like, bringing a girl home and, like, showing her off to your parents and whatever. It will never be the same because at the end of the day, you have to log off. You have to log off the fucking Discord server and realize that you still have your shitty life. Um, relationship, that's not the case. Your actual life changes. And some people, might challenge that. They're like, what is your actual life? And to them, I say, if you wanna live your whole life online, you can do that, right? I'm sure 50 years from now, there will be people who spend 24 hours a day living in VR chat, while they just decay in front of their monitor. And when they die, someone will come to clean them up. So I don't know, man. It's just so unbelievably fucked. Like, don't get into an online relationship. And I was so fucking dumb too. Um, like, not only was I getting involved in something that was basically doomed to fail from the start, I was getting involved in it while I was at a point in my life where I had no sense of what other people's needs were. I was still very needy, I guess, very closed off at the same time. I didn't want to share any of my problems with this person. I didn't want to, be open with them. Because, I was still using the internet in a sensible way, right? Anonymous, not sharing too much information, so on and so forth. But that doesn't fucking work in a relationship, right? Uh, I don't know, man. If anything, if you took anything away from this sort of unhinged little rant, um, I guess it would be, become a cat girl in real life. Don't sit in VR chat and put on your cat girl avatar, because you're not getting any more time, buddy. The sand's ticking. The sand's ticking. That's so retarded. The sand is falling down the hourglass. The clock's ticking. The 11th hour of your life is approaching. Um, and none of this online bullshit fucking matters. Like, you know what the internet is good for? The internet is good for sharing like impersonal ideas. It's good for sharing personal anecdotes, just speaking about them. The internet is not good for real relationships. It's not good for personal contact. Um, yeah, that's just thinking otherwise is just fucking delusional. Yep. All right. Thank you.